Hey out there, scary peeps. Nice to see you again. If you don't know me, I'm Jessica Lee Scary. You might have caught some of my makeup tutorials. Today I'm going to do a little bit of a different tutorial. You can catch my Poison Ivy makeup tutorial if you're curious about the makeup I'm doing in this video. You may already know I am obsessed with transformation videos. My fans voted recently that my next character should be Poison Ivy. So I'm going to do this one as Poison Ivy, and I'm going to teach you how to do it too. Transformation videos started with the Don't Rush challenge and have only gotten more and more creative from there. Started with women of color showing you their vulnerable pajama shower cap quarantine side and transforming into their most glamorous and beautiful selves. I've got to say, I think we're beautiful both ways, but today I'm going to teach you how to do your own transformation video. So you're going to need a couple things for your transformation. Most important thing, a recording device. I'm using my Google Pixel, my phone. You can use a camera, you could even use an iPad or a computer. I like to use a ring light. Mine also has 2 tripod options. I set the ring light across from my backdrop. I just used curtains, window curtains. You can set up a backdrop, you can tack something to the ceiling. You could set up a pressure rod and build your own stage curtain. You don't need a ring light. You could just use a window anywhere with a really good light source. Could be an overhead light, could be a lamp, could be a window. Just make sure that your face is lit from directly on instead of from above, unless you want to look like you have a giant nose. Now, I already have a giant nose, so I'm going to aim a light right at my face. I like a nice clean backdrop. You can really do it anywhere, but you want to make sure that there's not a lot in your picture because nothing can move. This is going to happen in 2 shots. So your first shot, you want to add marks to the floor. I made my marks with electrical tape. I usually just use electrical tape on my nipples, but it has many practical applications. So I stand on my mark and I take the first shot. Rolling. All right, perfect. Thank you. After I've taken my first shot, I'm going to leave everything exactly as it was. So if you have pillows, couches, plants, kids, pets in the background, you want to make sure everything is exactly as it was in the first shot before you do the second shot. Now that I've done my first shot, I'm going to go ahead and go put on my makeup and then come back and stand on this exact same mark, making sure nothing about my background has changed. Now I am fully Poison Ivy. Obviously, this doesn't happen in seconds, but we're going to make it look like it did. I'm going to get my costume on, and I'm going to go stand on the exact same spot that I marked. We're going to cover the camera, just like we did before. Basically, we're doing the same shot backwards. So now I have 2 separate shots. I have this, all right, perfect. And we have this. I'm going to start an iMovie just because this is the method I think is the quickest. If you have a Mac, an iPhone, an iPad, you probably already have this application. You can also use InShot, which works very similarly, and it is free. So here I have my 2 clips. Each clip has roughly 2 or 3 takes. So I'm going to go through and split my clip where I want it to begin, delete the part of the clip I don't want. So now my first clip looks like this. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it again to where the camera is totally covered. Split clip, I'm going to delete the end. I'm going to do the same thing, find my favorite take in this second video here that I'm scrolling through really fast, which I think is the first take. I'm going to make sure the video starts with the camera covered. You see in my video I use fake leaves to cover it. Some people will use their hands to cover the camera, a shoe, really whatever you want. License to be creative here. Now that I've made my full transformation, I'm going to cut the video where I want it to cut. So now it appears, when I play the whole thing together, as if this transition happened really fast. I'm also going to do things like add music, and I'm going to add a transition in between. If you go up to the top of the transitions, I like to use a fade to black. It really adds a little something, makes it look pretty crisp and professional. Make sure my music fits. I like to do a little fade out on my music so the music doesn't have a harsh end or beginning, but that's how you do the cutting. So in your first film, when you see the screen get covered, that's where you make your cut. And then in the next film, when you're all done up and glamorous, you cover the lens with the same thing at the beginning of the shot, and when you reappear, you are beautiful and glamorous. When you cut them together, it looks a little something like this. Feel free to message me or comment with any other questions. I hope that you have fun making a transformation video of your own. Like, subscribe, stalk me, check out my pages and my link tree. Thanks for hanging out.